Hello and welcome back to another Lord of the Rings live stream. Happy Monday, everybody. It is good to be playing Lord of the Rings. A little bit different day than normal, but that's because we got some new Marvel Champion stuff coming on Friday. So we're going to be playing Lord of the Rings today. Today we are continuing our progression series and playing Escape from Mount Graham, which actually has a fairly low difficulty rating. We'll see. I think that has to do with the fact that you can just kind of draw whatever you need. Because there's this captured mechanic where you will place cards from your capture deck, which is like your allies, your items, your mounts, that kind of stuff. And then whenever you rescue those cards, you get to add them to your hand. So it's a little bit procedural on what you can get. That being said, you only get like one hero to start the game, which is also kind of fun. And so it changes up the deck building a little bit. But if we do beat this one today, which I'm hoping that we do, we will get to unbox the next one, which is Across the Int Moors. And so that will be on the docket. And yeah. Alrighty, so I did say that I wanted to play a Dunedain deck, and so we are going to be running with that. We got a good number of enemies in this deck, so I think that we could probably figure out how to do that pretty effectively. So let's go ahead and start building the deck. Now, it is a little interesting because we're going to get one hero to start. We're going to shuffle one hero into the capture deck, and then the third hero is going to start on the top of the capture deck, so it's going to be the first thing that we rescue. That being said, it gets a little interesting, and I don't know if I want to go tri-sphere or if I want to go like two sphere. um there's some cool deck building implications, because if we go tri-sphere, that means that we don't actually have a guarantee that we will ever see that third sphere card. Lunacy, thank you for the subscription with Prime. I appreciate you. You're a wonderful person. And I just realized that it's my old logo that pops up whenever someone subscribes. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to anybody on Twitch for free. Does not have to be me, but make sure that you use that, because it's nice to give away Bezos' money. But hope you're having a fantastic Monday. So if we run a tri-sphere deck, we run the risk of never seeing that third hero, meaning that we're not going to be able to pay for that third sphere's cards, which could be an issue. Now, if we run a bisphere deck, we can set the two heroes that we see, or if we run a monosphere deck, we can do whatever we want. I want to not run a monosphere deck. I don't think that that's kind of what we're going for, but I think a bisphere deck could be kind of interesting, where we take one of the two heroes from the same sphere, start with them in play, and then the first one that we rescue would be that second hero, or the other hero not of that sphere. And then if we can get into or if we can rescue that third hero, then we can kind of accelerate our economy in that one sphere. But if we trend a little bit like lower on the cost of the deck, I think we'll be fine. The other thing that kind of just to think about is that I think this scenario comes with a lot of natural card draw, because whenever you're rescuing captured cards, which you could do by exploring locations, placing progress on the main, all of that good stuff, you can you draw those cards. And so I don't necessarily think that lore is one of the stronger choices here. Now, it could be the second sphere, mainly because I think lore has a lot of good stuff that meshes well with the Dunedain, and that is kind of the route that we are taking today. But also, it's really tough not to go with Spirit. Spirit is just fun. After a location is explored, ready. Okay, so there are a couple of options for us in the Dunedain realm, but I'm kind of thinking that I really want to use this Aragorn. I really want to use this Tactics Aragorn, where 12 threat, 2-3-2-5 stat line, every enemy engaged gets -1 defense. And then after an Aragorn participates in an attack that destroys an enemy, choose an enemy not engaged with you and engage that enemy. But there are so many low defense minions our enemies in this deck that Aragorn can just take out by himself. Now, if we use Aragorn, the problem is that he has to kind of do everything. But okay, so this is actually kind of fun because if we go with Aragorn and we go like kind of the Voltron Aragorn where we throw a ton of upgrades and items and all that good stuff on Aragorn, now we have a higher likelihood of drawing into that. And if we set those items in a specific fashion where we are removing the extraneous items so that whenever we rescue somebody, we're getting either an ally or an item that helps Aragorn, that could be kind of cool. If we go with Aragorn, we probably want to go with leadership just because of all the cool um, leadership upgrades and abilities that come with, or that work with Aragorn, with like the Celebrian Stone and the sword that was broken. I'm kind of leaning that way. Unless someone has a vehement opinion, other, you know, in contrast to that, I kind of want to play with Aragorn. I think Aragorn may be that second hero that we grab. So if we grab a leadership hero, we can start with them on the table and they get additional resources. So that's part of the setup here, is that whatever we start with, they get an additional 2 resources, which can really help with, you know, getting Steward onto the table, sword that was broken onto the table, all that good stuff. Hey, Albot, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good Monday. So let's just look and see if there's any Dunedain. We got Aragorn. We can go Aragorn. I don't think that's really what we want to do. We can go Theodred. Theodred's interesting here. Theodred is really interesting because after he commits to a quest, we can add a resource to a hero's resource pool. Because we are playing a hero or 2 down to start the game, this is going to help accelerate. And so we're always going to be looking for ways to increase the number of resources because we're obtaining, beginning of the game, 33% less every single round than what we would normally be gaining with a 3 hero deck. So Theodred is a really cool callback to the core set, and actually maybe who we go with here. I kind of like it. Let's just look at our blue heroes. We got Iredin. After a location is explored, we can ready her. She's a Dunedain. Anybody in the green aspect? We got Barravir. I don't think I realized the Barravir was Dunedain. And then we've got Aragorn, of course. Okay, let's try Theodred. Now Theodred also comes with the added benefit of only having an 8 cost, and so that also helps offset a little bit of Aragorn's high cost. So we've got 20 threat right there. Aragorn will be the first one that we rescue. I think Theodred will start on the table, and then we can just kind of accelerate that money. Our third hero, we could go leadership, we could go tactics. Let's hop back over here to red, and let's look at our Dunedain. After you engage an enemy, add 1 resource to his resource pool. That's kind of nice. We just played with Aylmer last time. I don't want to go back to Aylmer. I'm wondering if we go with leadership over that tactics, just because I think we can probably get a pretty high cost in leadership, and we can, if we can rescue that second leadership hero, we can just kind of accelerate that a little bit. So that means that we can look at Urkabrand. So while a Urkabrand is defending, deal 1 damage to cancel a shadow effect just triggered. That could be kind of interesting to offset the lack of spirit in the deck. Also gives us a defender, and well, we should be able to grab. That's an interesting choice. Also someone I just haven't used before, and so typically when I'm looking at some of um these quests that are lower on the difficulty scale, I like to use heroes that I haven't used before, just because sometimes one, maybe they're not the best heroes, and so I get to actually play with them, or two, maybe I just didn't know how to use them, and that happened with Boromir. Boromir Tactics. I didn't realize how good he was. I never used him, and so when I did finally use him, I was like, oh wow, he's really really good. While you are engaged with an enemy, Halibrat does not exhaust to commit to a quest. You may optionally engage one additional enemy during the encounter phase. 10 cost 222. I like Halibrat. I don't think I've played with Halibrat, and I like the Dunedain's all about having enemies engaged with you, and so that just gives us some additional quest power right there. So I think that's going to be our hero lineup. We got Aragorn, Theodred, and Halibrat for a total of 30 threat. We do want to bring Gandalfs. I think Gandalfs here are well, we're not going to be Gandalfs are going to be captured. Let me check on what everything is captured. Allies, item, mount, and artifacts are captured. So we can set some really efficient events in that small deck, which would be kind of nice. But what I'm thinking is, well, I guess Steward isn't a... That's a title, right? Yeah, Steward of Gondor could go immediately. Cerebrian Stone, Calibrian Stone. I have the hardest time with that. Also, if we give Calibrian Stone to Aragorn, he gets the Spirit Resource. So we could get a little bit of Spirit stuff going. That's, to me, fairly risky, because we don't ever actually know if we're going to see it. So I don't want to add too many Spirit cards in that deck. We could also add Song of Travel, which would not get shuffled in. It could be part of that thinner main deck. So that could be kind of interesting. All right. Oh, Heir of Valandriel. Attached to a Dunedain hero, which is going to be Aragorn over here. Exhaust Heir. To reduce the cost of the next Dunedain ally, you play this phase by 1 for each enemy engaged with you. Let's go ahead and grab that. Just that sounds kind of fun. Let's go ahead and grab 2 copies of Sword That Was Broken. We'll grab 2 copies of Steward of Gondor. Grab some sneak attacks. Let's grab Sword That Was Broken. Sword That Was Broken is a... attached hero gains the leadership resource icon, and so that'd be Aragorn. So we could give him the leadership, and then if he is Aragorn, then each character you control gets +1 willpower, which just seems really, really solid, especially in a solo game. Where's my other sword? I'm kind of surprised that Sword That Was Broken is not a restricted card. Huh. Maybe I just missed it. Go through this one more time. Either that... Oh, there it is. Cool. Now let's go with the Calibrian Stone. So attached to a hero gets +2 willpower. If the attached hero is Aragorn, he also gains a spirit resource icon. So just rainbow Aragorn. Make sure he can do anything he wants to do. Okay. I am just looking for Dunedain stuff at this point, because it's something that I have not played with too much. Ready X Dunedain character to control. X is the number of enemies engaged with you. Descendant of Kings. That sounds pretty decent. Heir of Madriel. Now, after attached hero gains any number of resources from a card effect, exhaust air to ready the attached hero. Now, that is pretty interesting with Theodred, giving you that free quest every single round because you can only attach it to a noble hero, which Theodred is our only noble hero now. If Aragon was noble, that'd be pretty sweet. Um, we also have all the signal stuff, which we could use. I am also interested in looking at some acceleration. So if we can find some cards that accelerate either the board state or our economy, I think we're going to be good. So like a very good tail, exhaust 2 allies. We don't want to do that because there are going to be no allies on the top of our deck, actually. But gaining strength, discard 2 resources from your hero's resource pool to add 3 resources. So that could just, get the ball rolling a little bit. Let's sweet. Okay, let's go check out our tactics and see if there's any Dunedain stuff down here. Now we do have some allies, and we'll look at allies here in a second. But let's see if there's any. Are these all goblins? That'd be interesting. Yeah, a lot of these are goblins. Okay, so goblins are orcs. Yeah, so we're gonna run Goblin Cleaver, and we'll have to find a weapon for our attacker, which would be whoever. Now the weapon we will not be able to get unless we rescue it. But again, if we limit the number of cards that we put into that deck, we have a greater consistency of drawing into a good one. So let's go ahead and grab a couple Goblin Cleavers. Oh yeah, let's grab our Gandalfs as well. Gandalf is a good card. Should probably just start separating these, but here we are. Oh, I kind of want to run some. I kind of want to run some side schemes. That'd be kind of fun. There's my Goblin Cleavers. Foe Hammer is the other one. So after your hero attacks and destroys an enemy, exhaust a weapon card to draw 3 cards. We've also got Feints because we're going to probably want to be farming a ton of enemies. Forest Snares are nice, but we don't have the Lore Sphere. Oh, we're going to grab a Faramir. Faramir is always nice when we're running high leadership. There's my Foe Hammers. I'll probably go 2 Foe Hammers. Go 2 Faramirs, just consistency. Looking for Dunedain stuff. Also, if there's anything that I am missing, just yell at me. Mighty Prowess is interesting. So attached to a tactics hero, all of these share the orc trait. So after the attached hero attacks and destroys an enemy, deal 1 damage to another enemy that shares a trait that was just destroyed. All of these are orcs, and so we can ping a lot of that damage. So I think that could be kind of nice. Ooh, that's a big boy. But I need a weapon. I need weapons first. Attached to a warrior hero, Aragorn is a warrior. After you optionally engage an enemy, exhaust captain, give him +1/+1 until the end of the round. That's pretty nice. We don't have a ton of just good generic weapons. Ooh, the Blade of Gondolin is nice. After the attached hero attacks and destroys an enemy, place 1 progress token on the quest, which is good because we're not running super high on willpower. And so Blade of Gondolin is going to be a nice add, especially because all of them are orcs. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I'm not missing any restricted cards. You can have You know what? We're just gonna run 3 bladed gondolins. None of these are restricted, right? The stone is restricted. The sword is not, but we got blade. The bladed gondolin is restricted, so we'll go the stone and blade for Aragorn. We do have access to the spirit, which I think we will go unexpected courage. Because if we go unexpected courage, we can ready Aragorn and take use of what will be his 4/4 stat line. I think I'm going to be happy with that. Also, I don't think I ever finished looking for Dunedain. Check our basic cards. Ranger. After you can engage an enemy, if you control at least one Dunedain hero, spend 1 resource to put Ranger into play. At the end of the round, if Ranger is still in play, shuffle it into its owner's deck. Interesting. Okay. So that could be nice. Alrighty. Let's transition to allies. Let's look for Dunedain allies. Dunedain Watcher. Discard Dunedain Watcher from play to cancel the shadow effects of... That seems really, really expensive. Don't love that. We have the Dunedain Wanderer, a 5 cost, secrecy 3. I don't see us ever touching that secrecy threshold of 20, so I think we're going to pass on that. We've got Denethor. Denethor gets -1 for each damaged hero you control. Discard Denethor if his willpower is 0 or less. I don't. Denethor I think would be fun in an Elrond deck with all the healing. Just kind of thought of that. Herald. You can give Herald Doom 2 when you play it from your hand. If you do, it gains... that player may put 1 ally from his hand with a printed cost of 2 or lower. That's pretty cool. Don't think it works here. Galadriel is interesting. Galadriel is interesting because we have a couple of attachments that are not going to be shuffled into the capture deck, like Unexpected Courage. And that is a way that we could sneak Unexpected Courage in. We just have to get kind of lucky with that hit, where when she enters play, we get to search the top 5 cards of our deck for an attachment of 3 or less and put it into play. So, Weatherhill's Watchman. After Weatherhill Watchman enters play, search top 5 cards for your deck for a signal card and add it to your hand to shuffle the rest. I mean, a 2-cost ally is always welcome. Yeah. Weatherhill's Watch. Don't think I've played with him. Yep. Nope. We've got Ingold. Gets +1 willpower for each hero you control with at least 1 resource in your resource pool. That could be a 2, potentially up to a 3. I don't feel comfortable really going that high. Because I don't know if we'll ever see this card. Return X. I'm thinking that we probably want to add attack. So lethal on 1 attack with Aragorn. Lethal on 1 attack with Aragorn once we have the blade. Not lethal. Not lethal. But if we have a plus, if we have the attack signal, then lethal. Yeah, we're gonna go with the Dunedain Mark. Especially since we can tutor it with the ally. But Dunedain Mark makes a lot of the enemies in the deck lethal on one swing from Aragorn. So I'm also just looking for other signal cards because sometimes I miss that some things are signals, like this. So a ranger summoning, play only if you control a Dunedain hero. Shuffle one of your set-aside Ranger of the North allies with the encounter keyword into the encounter deck, and then remove, so Ranger of the North. I like Ranger of the North. It just feels so difficult to play because if it gets dealt as a shadow card, then you're kind of out of luck. Which is, yeah, it's tough. Test hero with Sentinel. We don't have any of those. Dunedain Quest. I guess Dunedain Quest is always nice to have. Let's go ahead and just grab 2 of those as well, because we know that we can, or if we see the, what am I saying? It is Monday, I can tell. If we see the Dunedain marks early, then we don't necessarily get the full benefit of this Weatherhill's Watchman. Let's hop over to our tactics and try and find some Dunedain stuff over here to play with. Dunedain, Dunedain, Dunedain. I thought we had more Dunedain stuff. So we got the Dunedain Hunter. After Dunedain Hunter enters play, search the top 5 cards in the encounter deck for a non-unique enemy and put it into play. Engage with you. No enemy enters play. You have to discard it. But it's a 0-cost card. I already went ahead and grabbed 2 of those. We'll grab the 3rd. Exhaust Honor Guard to cancel 1 point of damage just dealt to a character. Exhaust and discard Honor Guard to cancel up to 5 points of damage as a Valor action, meaning that we need to have a threat of 30 or 40 or higher. 40 or higher. Let's just take a look and see where we're at card-wise. Now, I called it correct last time. I'm going to say this is 37 cards. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 38. So close. Let's look at our ally distribution. Or actually, let's look at cards that will be in our deck versus in the captured deck. So I'm just going to pull out some cards that are going to be in the captured deck. Then that can give us a pretty decent idea of how we need to round stuff out. We're at 38, so I need to remember that. Okay, so our capture deck is a lot of allies, which makes sense. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. A lot of allies. Now we don't have a ton. We have 3 weapons in here, which I think is fine. It's just that we have a couple of those cards that are reliant on exhausting a weapon, and so if we don't find a weapon, then we could be in trouble. So that makes me think that I probably don't want to add too many more cards to this captured deck. So I probably want to look more for events or things that will not work, or will not go into this deck. For some reason, I feel like I'm missing just a straight up big Dunedain card, and I cannot think about what that would be. We could go Captain of Gondor. Captain of Gondor, after you optionally engage an enemy, exhaust Captain of Gondor to give the attached hero +1/+1 until the end of the round. It's a nice title. It does not go here. We'll go Captain. We'll go one copy of Captain. The other interesting thing about this, and I have no good feeling on how to actually do the math, but you don't have to run as many copies because you are drawing from this deck rather than this deck. And so the hit rate of drawing a key card in your opening hand plus mulligan is a higher likelihood chance than normal because you're running with a smaller deck. And so we don't need to maybe run like 3x of, we may not even need to run 2x of Steward, but we probably have a better chance of hitting some of these cards. Did we grab Mighty Prowess? I think we did, but I don't quite remember. We didn't. Let's grab Mighty Prowess because it sounds fun. We may actually start to get a little overkill here, which is totally fine. In terms of damage, just beefing up. I am the Otter King. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday. Okay. Where's some of the more expensive cards here? It's interesting that Citadel Plate is restricted. I kind of think of restricted items being like hand slots. Citadel Plate maybe just is so cumbersome that it doesn't work. We could go Heir of... Oh, you know what we can do? We can go to Heir of Mardil. Attached to a noble. Oh, it's attached to a noble. I thought it was attached to a Gondor. I was going to say we could throw it on Aragorn once we have Steward of Gondor because that gives him the Gondor trait, but it doesn't quite work that way. It could be nice to give him to Theodred, but you know what? No, I don't want to do that because I think I want to be giving the resources to Aragorn, not Theodred. So, I think Descendants of Kings could be nice. Or we could go like Forest Snares. Do we have access to lore? No, but we do have access to songs. So if we grab the Song of Wisdom, I think it's called. Yeah, go team. We can go Song of Wisdom, and that gives us access to lore. And then we can run like the trap stuff. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And we can look at Dunedain stuff here. Lunacy, I know it's Lord of the Rings Day, but are you getting excited about the new Marvel Champions heroes? Yeah, I really am. I really am. So, yeah, Angel looks awesome. I think more excited about... Maybe not Psylocke, but the cards that Psylocke is going to bring. I don't know which hero I'm more excited about, but I think I'm more excited about the cards in Psylocke's pack. Because all of the, like, Float Like a Butterfly, all the confused stuff, I think is just going to be incredibly fun to play with. But yes, I am super pumped. We're going to be doing Marvel Champion streams on Friday and Saturday. Taking a look, we're going to do unboxing some first games on Friday for the two heroes, and then start the hero spotlight stuff on Saturday, and then finish that up, or I guess continue that on Monday of the following week. I am playing Marvel this Wednesday at noon Eastern time on Man vs. Meeple's channel, which is a channel that I've been collaborating with recently. And so I'm going up there. We're going to be doing a live stream of Cable Domino, and so that's going to be coming up. I'm looking for Dunedain, Sarnford Sentry, and just play. Draw one card for each enemy engaged with you. Now we're talking. That is diluting this deck, which I think is going to be fine. if we're going for um Stand and fight is interesting too. But if we're going for the Dunedain stuff, we might as well go all in on the Dunedain stuff. So Sarn Ford, here we go. Hey, I am the Otter King, subscribed with Prime. Thank you so very much. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Awesome. You're amazing. It's a good day. It's a good Monday. It's a good morning. Monday. Canadian Lord of the Rings Day. Time for me to lurk in the shadows like Gollum. Well, welcome. I'm happy that you're here. Good stuff. Oh, Dunedain Scout. East Road Rangers gets +2 willpower while committed to a side quest. We could go side quest here. I have a hard time running the side quest. I don't know why. I need to just do it. I'm doing the Dunedain stuff, which I don't think meshes too well with the side quest stuff. That being said, next our next game we'll if it makes sense, we'll lean into the side quest stuff. Exhaust a ranger or scout character to no. After you engage an enemy, exhaust a scout or ranger character to place X progress tokens on a location. Interesting. Just looking for Dunedain. Attached to a Dunedain or healer character, attach an exhaust attached character to heal all damage on the character. You can discard a condition attachment. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Deal 3 damage to an enemy with at least 1 trap attached to it. I don't think we really need to have too many too much more damage, just because Aragorn is going to be crazy. What I was really looking for here is the Forest Snare. So Forest Snare attached to an enemy, and the attached enemy cannot attack. That just allows us to farm. So let's go ahead and grab a couple copies of Forest Snare, which is an item, which goes into this deck. I didn't think about that. Are we okay with that? I think so. Let's grab 3. I think we will be able to... I don't know. Yeah, that's tough. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20... 23 cards there. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4. Okay, so that's 47 cards total. We got 3 more slots. I don't want to add any more to this. I actually may look to cut some out of that. Are there any Dunedain stuff that I'm completely missing? Spend 1 resource. Yeah. Are there any like absurdly nasty treachery cards in here? Like there is something to be said about just running with. Yeah, you know what? If I'm running the songs, I need more than 5 lore cards. Let's go back to lore. Let's go back to lore and see what we can find. So if we're going lore, we have to have some lore stuff. After a non-unique location is explored, add leave no trace. I don't think that really helps too much here. Was looking across YouTube for Lord of the Rings LCG deck building tips and found your videos. Absolutely love it. Awesome. Sweet. Hey, I am the Otter King. Good. Yeah, I have a couple of them, and I've started doing this where I just build the deck on stream. I enjoy it. I hope I've gotten good feedback. If you all don't like it, let me know. I mean, I enjoy it, but yeah, deck building for Lord of the Rings is not the easiest thing to do in the world, and so I hope that the videos that you found helped. Or yeah, how what is your experience with Lord of the Rings? Are you getting into the new stuff with the repackaged content? You know what? I'm having a really hard time justifying the inclusion of lore here. I may cut that lore stuff out. You didn't know that those were out there? Yeah, so if you go to the channel, I have a a video where I talk through there are two main videos that spring to my mind, at least. There's one video where I kind of talk through my deck building process, which is kind of what I'm doing here, but a little bit more methodical with like kind of the different stages and stuff. And then there's one that I did a long time ago, right when they announced the repackaged content. It's a video with me, Istari, and D20, where we talk about not necessarily deck building. Deck building is a part of it, but just kind of Lord of the Rings strategy tips. That's a throwback. That was a fun video to do. I don't think I'm running. I don't think I'm running with the forest snares are good though. We're cutting these out. I can't justify these. We don't have enough lore stuff. So is Fantasy Flight gonna re-release everything, or is it worth paying out of print prices to get some of the old sets? I don't know. So I will preface that with I have no idea. I do not know. I do think that there will be more reprints. I don't know if everything is going to get reprinted. And a lot of people have done some research on what they think will get reprinted based on what cards are in the starter decks that were produced. And so there are some of these cycles that are like the Sands, and I don't remember the other one that hasn't been announced, that a lot of people are speculating that we will see repackaged stuff for that. I bought everything right before they announced the repackage. I am the Otter King. You had the base game and a few old sets. Haven't picked up any new expansions in a while. Getting back recently as some friends have started their... Oh, sweet. That's awesome. That's a cool time to jump back in with some friends. That's really fun. Cool. As of right now, we don't know. Probably only new cycles and sagas. Yeah, the sagas, I don't see them not reprinting Return of the King at this point. Why am I having such a hard time filling out this deck? Let's try Rangers. Let's try Rangers. You want to offer promotion of your channel? Oh, you're so nice. Thank you. No, hero expansions are all the... Can someone answer this? What are the difference between the hero expansions and the campaign expansions? Do campaign include the hero cards? Yes, thank you, Canadian. Absolutely. The hero expansions are the cards from the set. So, like with the old package, where it's packaged in these kind of boxes, which we will open once we beat this quest, we would have, you know, not half of these, but, you know, 80% of these are encounter cards, and then 20% of these are the player cards. And there were, I think, 6 of those plus the deluxe expansion. The new set has the 2 boxes campaign and the hero, are the player card expansions. The player card expansion says all the player cards from all of those individually packaged quests, and then the campaign has all the campaign stuff. I accidentally picked up the Casa Doom expansion, not realizing it was an old set, and now I can't find the rest of the cycle. It hasn't been reprinted yet. I think that's one that people are not super convinced will be reprinted, and so honestly, that's not a bad one to go ahead and grab. If you can find them, that's awesome. The finding some of those old quests is not the easiest task in the world. We're gonna try the Rangers. Why not? Ooh, we talked about gaining strength to accelerate. So really, you want to pick? Yeah. I think you would want to pick up both. Good news is that even comparing the old prices, it still is more economical to pick up the new printed stuff. It is less expensive to do that. It's also just more environmentally friendly. That being said, you do not have to. Technically, you do not have to. I'd highly recommend it, though. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 5, 25, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21. So 4 more cards. Come on, Nelson. I can do this. Here's some of the more expensive cards. I wonder if we have some really cool... After an ally leaves play, add it to its owner's hand instead of placing it in its discard pile. That's pretty cool. Rallying Cry. Oh, and then we could go with, what, Valiant Sacrifice? After an ally card leaves play, add that card's controller draws 2 cards. Let's go Valiant Sacrifice. And honestly, at this point, I'm just picking stuff because I feel like I feel myself slipping into a analysis paralysis mode. I'm like, I don't know. And a lot of times I can just pick some of these. And one of the things I talk about in that deck building video is this game is a lot of trial and error. And so if we choose and like, okay, we really kind of needed more allies or we needed more questing, we can come back and revisit and modify the deck build. And so we'll do that. We'll grab Rallying Cry. Actually, you know what? We're going to grab Galadriel's Greeting. Because hopefully we will get we'll grab 2 copies of that. Hopefully we'll get the spirit resource on Aragorn very, very quickly. And if we can do that, then Galadriel's Greeting, we can manage our threats. Easy to slip in analysis paralysis. Oh yeah, it is so fun. I love the interactions with all the cards. And honestly, like, my favorite part of any of these games is the deck building portion. I enjoy the deck building more than I enjoy actually playing a lot of the times. And so I find myself slipping into that, even though I know it's not necessarily the most exciting part of the stream. But alrighty, let's read some stuff. And get into Arkham Horror mode. We are starting a new Arkham Horror campaign on Thursday. I'm going to be running the Forgotten Age campaign, and so I'm excited about that. We'll see how it goes. I've heard it's not the easiest thing, but this is Lord of the Rings: Escape from Mount Graham. Blindfolded, the company was marched into the tunnels of Mount Graham. It seemed like they walked for miles uphill and through many winding corridors. When the blindfolds were removed, they were deep in the heart of the goblin stronghold with no knowledge of an escape route. Garnock dungeons were gruesome and awful. They smelled of rot and decay. The floor was damp, covered in frost and slime. I skipped a line. Flickering torchlights scarcely illuminated the dungeon's halls. The goblins separated the companions and brought them down different tunnels, passing by chambers filled with wicked instruments. Cries of lament and pain echoed throughout the dungeons, filling them with dread. The companions were thrown into separate prison cells, all windowless and scaled with frost. Some were dragged to scales close to the dungeon's entrance, and others were brought much further into the belly of the dungeon. Each was alone. Any attempt on their part to call out for their companions was met with a swift beating. One by one, they were brought to the chamber of Gonorok? I don't speak goblin or orc, who interrogated them cruelly at the edge of a knife or a whip, adding to their scars and misery whenever they gave an unsatisfactory answer, even though none would dare betray their companions or their mission, and spoke nothing other than witty retorts or curses under their breath. On rare occasions, they were offered a repulsive meat of unknown origin that smelled like death and likely tasted just as bad, though none of them dared to eat it. After a prolonged starvation, however, even this foul meat was starting to look tempting. Having lost track of time and the never-ending darkness of the dungeon, they started to wonder if there was any hope. A seed of despair took root and began to grow. Finally, the monotony was broken when one of the company's heroes overheard what sounded like a regiment of orcs arriving in the dungeon. Gornak, a familiar voice bellowed, his voice echoing throughout the halls. We have come to claim your prisoners in the name of Deckmar. The hero stood in her cell and leaned against the cold bars, trying to see past the darkness. There could be no mistaking that voice. Warped and tinged with evil, it was Tharadir, the wraith they had confronted in Fornos, the one who had taken their friend. But we are the ones who captured them. They are our prizes, not yours. And I am not done yet playing with them, Gornak protested, angry with Tharadir's presence. The voice of Tharadir was cold and imposing. Remember to whom you speak, he responded. Lord De Chenar has claimed these for his own. Bring them to Khardum at once. They will make fine soldiers for the Lord of Agmar. There was a long, sinister pause. Or do I have to remind you what Lord De Chenar does to those who do not obey? The hero clenched her hand over the bars of the cell, surprised at the mention of a Lord of Agmar. The arguments between Tharadir and Gornak grew heated. Several of Gornak's guards ran out of the hall, presumably heading to where the argument was taking place. The hero shuddered to think what fate might befall the goblin who defended Tharadir, or worse, the fate that awaited the hero's companions. Just then, a faint light crawled across the walls, and the lightest of footsteps approached the cell. The shape of a hooded man appeared, illuminated dimly by the light of a torch. The heroes drew away from the bars cautiously. Don't fret, the man whispered, said Armithrill, pulled down the hood that covered his face. He raised the keyring and unlocked the door of his cell. A wave of relief washed over the prisoner. Armithrill, you came back for us, the hero whispered, exiting the cell and embracing the ranger. Of course. After the battle with the goblins, I escaped and managed to track everyone to this mountain. I couldn't find a way in at first, but then Tharadur and his orcs arrived. I slipped in behind them. Once the jailer was distracted, I made my way to your cell. The way I came in is now guarded by orcs from the north. However, there is another exit, a hidden gate high in the southern end of the mountains. I overheard one of the goblins talking about it. Good, the hero replies. We'll find many of the others as we can and make our way to this southern gate. Armithrill hesitated for a moment and clenched his jaw. If Tharadir is here, that means that Mr. I is here as well. He must mean to bring us all north to Karn Doom together. He handed his keyring to the hero, closing his companion's hand around it. There are many more of our company in prisons here. Find them and make our way to the southern gate. I will try and find Mr. I and meet you there. The hero nodded and the two clasped forearms. With that, the ranger quietly headed back the way he came. The newfound sense of freedom gave way to anxious dread. The halls were quieter than ever before, alone and without weapons or gear. The task was daunting. Even so, the rest of the company could not be abandoned. The hero steeled her resolve and went to work. So now we have to prepare a capture deck. So when setting up this, stage 1A instructs each player to prepare a separate capture deck. A capture deck represents all of the heroes. Which we do Okay, hold on. So while setting up Escape from Mount Graham, stage 1 instructs each player. Oh, each player shuffles his starting hand into a starting deck. Each player prepares a separate capture deck, 2 resources. Oh, and you only start with 3 cards. Oh, that's annoying. Is there any reason for me to actually shuffle these in there? I don't think so. So to prepare a capture deck, remove all items, mounts, artifacts, and allies. Shuffle them together. This pile is now referred to as your capture deck. Capture deck does not have its own discard pile. Any cards that are discarded, placed in the new owner's discard pile. After prepping your capture deck, each player chooses 1 hero to be the starting hero. Each player randomly set. Oh, you have to randomly set aside. I did not realize that. Huh. That makes it interesting. I think we're gonna go with Aragorn as our starting hero then. That's tough. That's tougher. Yeah, I think we have to go with Aragorn. For some reason, I thought we could. That's pretty funny. That's actually really, really funny. Our initial idea was I thought that I could choose which one of these got shuffled and which one I put on the top, but it's actually randomly chosen. So I was going to go Theodred, put Aragorn on top so that we could get that ball rolling, and we had the leadership stuff ready to go. I think it has to be Aragorn, though. I think. When an encounter card with Capture X enters play, before resolving that card's when revealed effects, each player takes the top X cards of his capture deck and places them face down underneath that card. And then when we rescue, when an encounter card or quest card with 1 or more capture cards underneath it leaves play, all the capture cards underneath are rescued by their owners. Rescue cards are placed in their owner's hand. If a hero card is rescued, immediately put into play under its owner's control. This one also has like separate staging areas and all that good stuff, but we don't care because we are solo. Okay, so that's really, really interesting. We have so many. These are the cards not in the capture deck, which is so heavily skewed towards. Oh, okay. Let's set our threat and we'll think. Let's set our threat and we'll think. Because so many of these cards rely on Aragorn. I think what we have to do is we have to go with a leadership card. There are too many leadership stuff. There's too much leadership stuff in here, and we would not be able to get anything down onto the table. And we just have to hope that it's Aragorn. Alrighty, that's fun. Okay, so each player shuffles his starting hand into his deck. So we're going to say that we did all of that. It doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter. Each player prepares a separate capture deck. And so this is our capture deck. We're going to keep Theodred or Halbrand. We're going to keep Theodred. So we're going to shuffle those 2 up. One of them goes on top. One of them goes or gets shuffled in. So let's go ahead. We'll just shuffle these up. Oh, I can't believe that I don't get to choose. That's pretty funny. So we'll go even odd for shuffling in. So even gets shuffled in. And then that odd will go on top of our deck. I wonder if we could get around. I don't know. It'll be fun. Okay, so each player adds 2 resources to his starting hero. So we're gonna start with 2 here. And sets his threat to that hero's. Oh, sweet. Okay, so we actually do get to start only with an 8 threat. Well, that seems much better. Set Southern Gate and Jailer outside out of play. I love Lord of the Rings. It's so good. Southern Gate. Jailer outside out of play. Shuffle the encounter deck. Each player draws a new hand of 3 cards. Alrighty. Come on. Oh, the other problem is honestly, we may... yikes. The problem here with Theodred is that he is a really weak quester. Now we do have the signals. We do have the Dunedain signals, which can help with that quest, and we can boost up Theodred's questing power. We'll have to go with that. Oh, that's a fun problem. Because, yeah, okay. Making sure I was shuffling the right deck. Because we only get to capture cards on this next stage, or we'll capture our next hero by placing the first progress on this stage. So that's when we get to rescue that hero. So we get a starting hand of 3 cards. We don't get to mulligan, Unexpected Courage, Valiant Sacrifice, and Foe Hammer. What we would call awful. Oh no. Then the not mulligan hurts really tough. It's really tough. 1B. Oh wait, actually, let's read the flavor. You have been captured and imprisoned by the goblins of Mount Graham. You have endured much during your imprisonment in Mount Graham at the hands of a cruel goblin known as Gornak, but before you are taken north as prizes for, quote, Lord Dachinar, so many hard words, comes to your rescue. After he frees you, he slips off to find Mr. I, where you suspect is imprisoned nearby. Armed with only your wit and resolve, you must find the rest of your company. Each player creates his own staging area and advances to a different stage 2A. So we've got 4 2As. We'll re-roll a 5 or a 6. We got 3 here. Perfect. Okay, so this is capture 7. So 2, 4, 6, 7. When revealed, search the encounter deck for 1 copy of Prison Cell, reveal it, and add it to your staging area. Then capture an additional 2 cards from the top of your capture deck underneath that Prison Cell. Let's go find Prison Cell. Capture 1, and we're going to add 2 additional ones, so 3 total under Prison Cell. After the players travel to Prison Cell, look at the captured cards underneath it and choose 1 to put into play at no cost. Place the other cards back underneath Prison Cell. Sweet. That's cool. Then this says, anytime players would place progress tokens on this quest, rescue an equal number of capture cards at random. Oh, at random from underneath it instead. So you may, it may be really hard to find that. I don't know if Theodred was the right call to go with. Because I don't know if we'll ever be able to quest just with his 1 willpower. Bummer. Okay, it's fine. There are no capture cards underneath this. Join other players. If you cannot join another player, we advance to stage 3A together. So we'll put 3A underneath it. Okay. Here's my capture deck. Here's my useless hand. And we'll start. Yikes. So, draw a card into another Unexpected Courage. Ugh. I did not think this through. Should I have started with Aragorn? I think probably so. Okay, well, we've got Theodred here. Can't do anything, so this is not good. We will quest for 1. We'll reveal a 2. Capture 1. X is the number of cards in play with 1 or more captured cards beneath them. So he's attacking for 3. Threat cost of 28. And so, total of 3. In the staging area, we quested for 1, so we raised our threat by 2. I think we lose. I think we lose here. No, we're gonna travel here. Okay. So after the player's travel to prison cell, look at the captured cards underneath and choose one to put into play at no cost. So we're traveling here. Put into play at no cost. Okay, it's gonna be Ranger. Actually, Blade of Gondolin. We can't play Blade of Gondolin. Just kidding. It's not gonna be Blade of Gondolin. So we got this Ranger. Okay. So after you engage an enemy, if you control... Nope. And the way that I read this is that this response at the end of the round, if he's still in play, shuffle him into your owner's deck, is not active because I did not trigger the response. So he came into play for free. Okay. At the end of the phase, we'll raise our threat. We will unexhaust. We could have engaged here. We could have taken... We probably would have died. That would have been bad. But we could engage here next turn and kill off the goblin if we wanted to. Draw into Steward of Gondor. We'll get a money. This is less good than I was expecting. Okay. We may just take the threat hit. And then we can come we would defend here. We can't kill him. We could quest for 3. We're not going to be able to place. We're in a lot of trouble, team. I think we're going to not quest. This is going to pop into a capture 1. While Chief Torture would damage an ally with an attack, capture that ally and Neath Cruel Torture instead. Cruel Torture, not Chief Torture. Okay, so we raise our threat by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We will go ahead and optionally engage the Goblin Tormentor. He will attack. We will defend. It's going to be 4. 4 plus a shadow. No shadow effect, thank goodness. So we take 3 damage here. This is not right. This is not how we wanted to do this. Then the Ranger will put a damage on him. We're losing this. We are losing this. Okay, at the end of the round, we will increase our threat, draw into a sneak attack. That does not help. Okay. We'll get a money. I don't know what we should have done here. I wonder if this would be different if we started with Aragorn. I don't know if it would have been because we don't have... I think we have to kind of get lucky with what we grab here. Got tired of Marvel? Never. No. Hey, Weary, how you doing? No, I love Lord of the Rings. I actually like Lord of the Rings more than Marvel. I think it's a more interesting game. I do hate it now. It's the worst game ever. That's why I'm only streaming it 3 times this week instead of 5. You go Valiant Sacrifice. And hopefully draw it. That's probably the best thing that we can do. We'll not quest. Capture 1. After the captured cards underneath dungeon card are rescued, the players may put one of them into play at no cost. Oh, cool. Okay. So we went up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you just got dice thrown. Nice. Very cool. That's really cool. What season, or was it Marvel, or which one? I agree. Lord of the Rings is better than Marvel. Hey, yeah. We're going to block here. So it's going to be 4, no shadow effect, which actually means that this guy doesn't die. He just takes 2 damage. Then we'll swing back and deal a damage here. Okay. We'll increase our... Oh, no, this guy is engaging us. We're going to scoop. We're going to scoop. Hey. Nice. Pyro with the... Oh, nice. That's actually the one that I started out with. Have you been able to play it yet? This is a scoop. Because this guy attacks us and we lose. Okay. Let's try that again. Let's not go Dune here. Let's start with Aragorn. I'm just kind of curious. We can increase our scoop counter. Go up. Nice. You are engaged. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes. Engaged with everybody. Who would we have gotten? We would not have even gotten Aragorn. But honestly, there are so many things that capture cards that not getting Aragorn under there may actually be nice. But let's start with Aragorn instead, and let's see what happens. Now, we don't have anything that we can do with that, but he is a stronger quester. The other thing... Actually, you know what? We're going to go with Halbrand. Halbrand, I think, is going to be the best of both worlds here. Because when you're engaged with an enemy, he does not exhaust to commit to a quest. But he has the 2/2/2 stat line, so he's just a little bit better. That being said, Aragorn can take out an enemy. Is a better attacker. But Aragorn cannot pay for anything in this deck. So let's try Halbrand, actually. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. That's interesting. And this is what I say is like it may be worth going back and revisiting the deck build. Because, you know, sometimes like this, like I just don't... I didn't see that we're not going to have a great option of attacking that main early with just one hero. So that pushes us into wanting heroes with a little bit higher of a willpower. So like Eowyn or someone like that who can go and just grab more of these cards. We have a couple of 3 willpower leadership heroes, which we may summon. You have only play tested it on TTS when I'm considering getting more sets. My brother and I like it this afternoon. Oh, sweet. Yeah. It's fun. It's a good time. It is a really, really good time. Yeah. Okay. So we'll shuffle these up. We'll go even odd to shuffle. Even shuffles. But yeah, Halbrand being able to... Yeah, Halbrand being able to quest without exhausting is pretty nice. I hear the games can get dicey. Yes, absolutely. Nice. Nice. Yes, they 100% can get dicey. We have to draw a starting hand of 3 cards. Also, I think it's worth... Three cards. Steward of Gondor, Heir of Vandrel, and Foehammer. Alrighty. We'll advance to a random. We rolled a 6. 4. Alone and without your equipment, you steal yourself and begin to search for your companions and belongings. Capture 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. Searching counter deck for 1 copy of Prison Cell, reveal it, then capture 2 additional cards from the top of your capture deck underneath the Prison Cell. Do I have all the sets? No, I do not. I have all the Marvel stuff, but I don't have... I think I only actually have Shadow Thief and Pyromancer from the non-licensed game. So I have all the Marvel, and I don't have any of the Adventure stuff, but I do kind of want to play Adventures at some point. Adventures is the solo co-op mode. Prison Cell is going to capture 3. After the players travel to Prison Cell, look at the top at the capture cards and choose 1 to put into play at no cost. We're going to set our threat to 10. We have Stewarding Ondor. I don't think it's necessarily worth throwing Steward in there yet, but we let's go ahead and draw into Mighty Prowess. Does not help. Get a resource. We will not quest. No, we will quest. Because if we reveal a treachery, we can get a card. We'll quest for 2, showing 1. Flip into a 2, of course. Capture 1. When cruel torture would damage an ally, we put it underneath it instead. So we're showing 3. Our threat goes up by 1. We will travel to the prison cell. After the player travels to prison cell, look at the capture cards and choose 1 to put into play at no cost. We have Gandalf, Weatherhill Watchman, and Faramir. I feel like it's going to be Faramir. Gandalf could kill here, which would be really nice, but we lose a lot of what Gandalf can do. So we're gonna go Faramir. Faramir is gonna be the long-term play, and hopefully be able to clear and get Gandalf into our hand. Then our threat is at 11, so we don't have to engage. We will engage though. We will engage. We're not gonna engage because he would just capture Faramir, and that'd be very sad. We would not be happy with that. I think we want to use Gandalf to kill him. Okay, so end of the round, we'll stand up, increase our threat. Top of the round, draw a card into Goblin Cleaver, get a resource. I want Lord of the Rings set so we can have Gandalf's defensive role. You shall not. That'd be awesome. Yeah, it'd be really cool if they branched out. I know that they're doing some like X-Men stuff, which looks pretty cool. But yeah, I would be down for some Lord. I'm always down for Lord of the Rings licensed product. Okay. I think. I think what we're gonna do is we're not gonna quest. We're going to block. Or we could try and quest through this. We have 4, we're showing 2. We could try and quest through that. But I think we're going to get into a situation where we're just in trouble again. Faramir only having a 1 attack is really sad. It's when he would damage. We could just toss Faramir. We could toss Faramir. We could roll the dice on this 3 attack, hopefully not getting a +1. Ever considered doing a Nemesis solo stream? Here's my dark secret. I don't like Nemesis. I did not have a good time playing Nemesis. So 1, I don't have it. It's a really expensive game. But 2, it was not my type of game. And I don't know what that was, but it wasn't me. It wasn't for me. Okay. This is a really tricky start. um, we may lose Faramir. What we may do is we may go 2 to, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna play Sword of Gondor here. We're gonna get that, so we can get Faramir back fairly easily. We're not gonna be able to kill the Torturer though. We're just not gonna be able to kill. Yeah. Let's go ahead and quest for 4. I'm gonna reveal a stop the executioners. Capture 5. Several of your captured companions are being sent to the executioner's block 2, 4, 5. If you make it in time, you might be able to save them before they are slain. Time 4 forced. When the last time counter is removed from this quest, discard its captured cards and remove this quest from the game. Then raise each player's threat by 3 for each character that was discarded by this fight. Jeez. Yikes. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're Coles. Have fun. Thanks for hanging out. Faramir's a wuss anyways. Okay, so we're going to place 2 progress here. We're just not set up to quest. We're just not set up to quest that much. But we could get a Gandalf. We're in a situation where we could. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. We will unexhaust, raise our threat to 13, take time down, draw a card. Unexpected courage doesn't help. We'll get money. I guess we'll use 2 to play air. And we just have, if we can quest through here, we're gonna be okay. Questing for 4, flipping a 1. Let's go. Capture 1. After the capture cards underneath Dungeon Guard or Rescue, the players may put one of them into play at no cost. Okay, so we place 1 here, which clears. So these go to our hand, which is the Weatherhill's Watchman and the Gandalf. Big, 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 big. Total threat is 13. We could engage here, actually. We will. We'll go ahead and engage the guard. We'll take the undefended attack of 2, which could kill us. So instead, we're not going to do that. Just kidding. We'll stand up, tick time down. Increase threat, pass out money, draw a card into Goblin Cleaver. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and spend 2, 4, 5 to play Gandalf. We'll deal 4 damage here. We'll kill this guy. We will get Ranger. Okay, we'll get the Ranger. Okay. We're going to quest on this guy here. We can't do that. We'll go 2 to play Weatherhill's Watchman. Search the top 5 cards of our deck for a signal card. There's that. There's the mark. Feint. Unexpected courage. We'll take the mark, I guess. Okay. Okay. We're not gonna play the mark. I think I would rather have that on Aragorn. What we're gonna do is we're going to exhaust Faramir to give everyone +1 willpower. I'm gonna quest for 5, 7, 10 here, showing 1. Capture 1. It's another dungeon guard. I feel like Nemesis is very much a D&D type game where it's more about crafting, and it very much is. It very much is. What I didn't like about Nemesis is the pseudo cooperative nature of it. I like my games to be either cooperative or know that there's a betrayer. I don't like I think the biggest turnoff for me was the fact that there were cards in here that says you win if this person loses. That just doesn't feel like a fun situation to be in. So that was kind of my biggest issue with Nemesis, I think. That, and I think our game took like, I think it was like 5 hours, which is way too long. Like if that game was an hour, I feel a lot better about Nemesis. Request for 10, which clears this. The fact that it's so mechanic heavy doesn't feel like it. Yeah. We grab these. We got Faramir, the Hunter, Gandalf, the Hunter, and Blade of Gondolin. So these all go to our hand. I like it. Okay. We will engage here. We'll take the undefended attack 2. No, we lose. Dang it. That was dumb. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Ugh. That was really dumb. I knew. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, just kidding. After you engage an enemy, if you control that list, we're going to retcon that. We're going to do this. Spend 1 resource to put this into play from your hand. We'll defend this attack. So, there you go. It gets +2, so this has 2 damage on it. Sorry, yeah. I don't want to shuffle that back up. Okay. Then at the end of the round, if this is still in play, we'll shuffle it into our owner's deck. The first time you played Nemesis, I misunderstood the escape pod rules and botched badly. The second time I gambled on having 2 engines working and lost again. Do you think they could... I do think that they could tweak a few rules to make it much better, though. Yeah. Yeah, it's long and the semi-co-op can be tough to manage. I don't care too much for that stuff generally because I'm too trusting, but I have played a few times with a great group and tension. Oh yeah, it's a game that like just has some really cool moments, right? It really can like have some really cool moments and stuff. It's just not my type of game, if that makes sense. So we're gonna stand up, increase our threats, draw into Valiant Sacrifice. Gandalf's gone. Pass out money. Do we have any Dunedain that we can play? We can't play any of these Dunedain. Yikes. We're in trouble. We're in so much trouble. I think I want to... We have another Faramir in our hand, so we can probably block here. So if we quest for 3... No, we'll block with Weatherhill's Watchman. We'll quest for 4. And then we probably won't lose that. So we'll quest for 2. We don't have to exhaust a quest because we're engaged with an enemy here. So that's 4. We're showing 1. We're going to flip into Doomed 3. 1, 2, 3. Until the end of the round, each enemy gets -10 engagement cost and +1 attack. Ugh. That's not good. Okay, but we do place 3 progress tokens, so we get to take 3 of these cards. 2 trusting, want to play Sheriff of Nottingham. Even though it's a semi-co-op, I have a good group to play with it as well. Nice. We kind of enjoy sticking it to each other, and that's fair. Like that's a fun group to be in. Just not necessarily my cup of tea. We captured. Are we? Oh, we got Aragorn. Let's go. Let's go. We got Sword That Was Broken and Aragorn. Starting to feel much better about our lives. Okay. Sick. Okay. So this guy will engage us. We have Aragorn, which can block, or Aragorn can actually kill one of those. But we do have, now that we have a tactics hero, we can play some stuff. Oh, let's go. Okay, feeling much better. We're gonna block here. It'll be a 2 attack. Gets +1 for each ally. So this is actually attacking for 2, 3, 4, 5, which is enough to kill the Weather Hills Watchman. We will spend 1 money to play Valiant Sacrifice to draw 2 cards, which is a Feint and a Galadriel's Greeting. You haven't tried... I like Sheriff of Nottingham a lot more. Sheriff of Nottingham is like a bluffing game, which is really fun. You're trying to like sneak stuff past the sheriff, and like you're saying you're trying to sneak like contraband past, but you're allowed to put fruit in like your little baggie, and you put it on the table and you say, I have like 3 apples, and the sheriff can either check or not check. And based on how, or like if they catch contraband, the sheriff gets points, and if you sneak past or whatever you sneak past, you get points. And so it's good. Have I played Resist? I have not played Resist. It's a solo card game. Reminds you a bit of Lord of the Rings, especially in its interesting. Okay, what theme is it? What theme is it? Okay, we got a 2 here. We're gonna block with here 2 +1. This attack destroys an ally. Return the attacking enemy to the staging area. So he's attacking for 4 total. So we take 2 damage. Aragorn will swing back and kill this guy. We got the stone. Oh my gosh, we got the stone. Yo, team. Let's go. I kind of wish my steward was not there, but we had to have it there. So we're good. Okay. We'll increase our threats. We will pass out money. Draw a card. And to sneak attack. We could sneak attack this Gandalf. Take out this dungeon guard. We could sword that was broken over here on Aragorn. I think actually what we're going to do is we're going to spend 1 resource here to play the Blade of Gondolin on Aragorn. Blade of Gondolin is a weapon attachment, which means that we can play our Goblin Cleavers as well as our Foe Hammers. So I think we will probably play Foe Hammer when we kill this guy. Sheriff is a good game. Yeah. No, it's a trusting game. It's about trusting people as the sheriff. Wait a second. You're playing in the Spanish Resistance. Oh, okay, cool. No, I've never heard of it. Sounds interesting. Resist. I'll have to check that out. That sounds cool. Sounds cool. Okay. We're going to use 2 to play Celebrian Stone on Aragorn. I think I'm going to keep the sneak it. We're not going to play Sword That Was Broken yet because I want to be able to sneak attack Gandalf if we need to. Sword That Was Broken can be played next turn. We do have some hunters. So we have 3 of these hunters which we could play. Which this deck seems to be pretty tough against having allies in play. Which makes sense, like thematically. I may not do that. But what we may do... Oh, this is what... We can play all of these on our last turn once we push through 2. Because we'll have to push through the second stage, which I think has like 14. But each one of these will have 2 with Sword That Was Broken on the table. We have Feint. Let's farm a little bit. Let's farm a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we're going to quest for 2. 4 against 0. Orc ambush. Several orcs spring upon you from their hiding place. Their surprise attack puts you on the defensive. You must fight to gain the upper hand. Each orc... What was I thinking here? I'm going to have to sneak attack. Because I can't take a... I don't know how I was planning on taking the attack there. Each orc enemy gets +1, +1, +1. And then when revealed, each player must search the encounter deck and discard power for an orc enemy and put it into play, engage with them. Let's go ahead and check capture is a new keyword. When an encounter card or quest with the capture keyword enters play, so we're gonna go ahead and grab a dungeon guard. Okay, but we did 4. We quested for 4. Oh, which actually pushes us. That's for some reason I thought I had one more. Just kidding. That's bad. That's real bad. That's man, I am not playing well today. Okay, well, we get all these. We got another Blade of Gondolin, which is nice. Another Weatherhill's Watchman. We have a Ranger. Actually, the Ranger is going to be clutch here. So. Okay. Having rescued as many of your companions as you can find, you begin to make your way towards the dungeon's hidden exit. By now, Gornak is surely aware of your escape, and the orcs that were with Tharadir are now searching for you as well. When revealed, add Southern Gate and Jailer to the staging area. Shuffle the Agmar orcs. Encounter... Was I not supposed to shuffle those in? Did I just miss that? Oh yeah, the Agmar orcs encounter set aside out of play. So the only things that we've seen from that are these two, which were shadow effects. So we'll shuffle these 2 back in. Oh, and this actually. So, okay, hold on. We may just play it again because that's actually a pretty big miss. The actual I hate that. I hate that. I feel like I blunder that super hard. Okay, well. Yeah, I think we have to start over. That's fine. Okay, cool. I do like having Halibred as our start. So we'll do that. Scoop counter 2 because Nelson can't read rules. But I have a better feel for the set now. Aragorn actually may be the right call to go. It's tough. The thing is that like a lot of the cards in the deck Alrighty, cool. It is cool. We're just gonna do it again. We have one of these guys. There he is. Perfect. Okay, sweet. We're gonna start. We're gonna stay with Halibred. Have Theodred there. Let's go ahead and grab all of our cards. Oops. Okay. This is one of the things that I did like about running all of the encounters not blind, is that I didn't miss as many of those types of things. Let's pull out all of the cards that are not supposed to be in there. How about that? I assume that that's what this set is. Agmar Arcs, yeah. Okay. Oh, grabbing Faramir that first turn was really clutch. Okay, cool. Reading cards is difficult. Go even, odd to shuffle in. Even, odd. So we'll shuffle in this. This gets shuffled, and then we'll throw whatever that card is on top. Much smaller encounter deck. Each player shuffles his starting hand into his deck. Each player prepares a separate capture deck. Adds 2 resources to our starting hero. Sets his threat to that heroes. We got 10. Sets Southern Gate, Jailer, and the Agmar Arcs encounters out of play. Shuffling counter deck. Each player draws a new starting hand of 3 cards. I don't know how I just missed that. So I've been enjoying Marvel Champions so far with the core set. I'm loving deck building aspect of the game. My question to you is, what LCG would you recommend to get next? Lord of the Rings or Arkham Horror? Kind of interested in both, so I have some additional information. Would be nice. That's a great question. So if you like the story, Arkham Horror is all about the story, the experience, and Lord of the Rings has story, but it's more about deck building. It's those are kind of the key features of each. I think of Marvel Champions being easy to pick up and play. Arkham Horror, you're going to be playing over multiple sessions. I think it's max about 8 with the same deck. You'll make modifications to your deck throughout the entire game and stuff. And then Lord of the Rings is very much I need to build for this specific scenario. Every single scenario is tough. And so if you're looking for a challenge, if you like the deck building, go Lord of the Rings. If you are more interested in it, Arkham Horror is still a challenge, but if you're more interested in kind of the experience and kind of the campaign, the story type of thing, go Arkham Horror. So if you love the deck building aspect of the game, I would say Lord of the Rings. It is so much more involved in deck building. Starting hand of 3 cards. Goblin Cleaver doesn't work. Steward of Gondor is nice. And Goblin Cleaver doesn't work. Sweet. Advance to a random 2A. Reroll the 5 or a 6. 1. Capture 7. Alone and without your equipment, you steal yourself and begin to search for your companions and belongings. Need a prison cell. Capture 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. We're having a good time. Sweet. Prison cell is going to capture 2 additional. So it has 3. Start of the round. Money. Card. Another Steward of Gondor. Dang it. Okay. Not want to listen to Soldier Boy. Okay. We're sitting at 1. We will go ahead and quest here for 2. Just maybe we can grab a card. That'd be nice. Showing 1, we're going to flip into a 1. This captures 1. After the captured cards are rescued, the players may put one of them into play at no cost. So we do not raise our threat, which is fine. Quest phase, we'll go ahead and quest here. After the players travel to prison cell, look at the captured cards underneath it and choose to put one into play at no cost. Place the other cards back underneath prison cell. We got Gandalf, or the Ranger. It is so hard to choose Gandalf here. Gandalf is so much nicer to have in our hand. We'll go Ranger. We'll go Ranger here. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Your videos over on YouTube are great. I'm watching them every day. Oh, cool. Thank you so much. Yeah. One of the videos that I hope to have out within the next couple of months is kind of a video that answers that question. That is on the horizon, something that I want to be working on. I have a few other projects that I want to complete before I do that. But yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun to have, kind of like, so you want to buy an LCG, which one do you want, and kind of give a brief overview of each one of those. Hey, appreciate. Hey, Albot, thank you so very much. First time chat. And Bits, oh, that's fun. That's fun. Haha, thank you so very much. Hope you're having a good Monday. This community is great. Y'all are fantastic. You're great. We could optionally engage here if we wanted to. We could take the attack undefended, which could kill us. That's interesting. And we could just take the scoop. If it does kill us, just play the risky play. We could defend here. Comparison videos would be great. I think I'll go deeper. I think it'll go deep with LCG. Super fun. Oh, they're incredible. They're so much fun. Like, they're like, I think, like, I know I've told this story. I don't know if you've heard this story, but basically, like, I had a board game podcast and I ended up like just talking about LCGs, which is how this channel got formed. Just because I love them so much. They're so good. Yeah, we'll go ahead and engage. We'll take the option. We'll take the undefended attack 2. No shadow effect, which is excellent. Which is 2 damage here. And then we will swing back for 1 damage here. Now what this allows us to do is quest without exhausting. Big for us. Let's go ahead and increase our threat. The top of the round, we will get a money and a card. Okay. Okay. We will not play anything. What we will do is we will go ahead and quest for 2 here. I'm gonna flip into a prison cell, capture 1. After the players travel to prison cell, look at the captured cards underneath it and put 1 into play at no cost. That's huge. We got 1 here. Now we didn't have to exhaust because we are engaged with an enemy, and that's his ability. We're going to block with the Ranger here. So 2 defense, 2 attack. No shadow effect again. Huge. Then we'll swing back and kill here. We cannot actually... And put 1 of them... The players may put 1 of them into play at no cost. So we could play here. I actually don't think I want to do that. Because then we get a enemy. Which we could defend here. Interesting. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to take the Dungeon Guard. After the captured cards underneath Dungeon Guard are rescued, the players may put 1 of them into play. And you know what? Actually, I think we've passed the response or the attack window for him, so I don't think he actually gets to attack. Yeah, because we attack with everyone, then we attacked, killed him. So we are still in the attack phase, so we'll take this guy out. And we'll get to put in the Celebrian Stone here. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We have to put that on Aragorn. The reason that we need this on Aragorn is it gives him the spirit resource. If we don't put it on Aragorn, that means we're locked out of Galadriel Greeting and Unexpected Courage in our deck. That's too big of a cost. We'll just take it. Okay, let's stand up. Increase our threat. Top of the round, we'll draw a card, Unexpected Courage, and we'll pass out money. Okay. We know we got 2 Gandalfs here. I think what we'll do is we're going to quest for 2, 4, 5. Showing 1, flip into X. Capture 1. X is the number of capture cards underneath Tunnels of Mount Graham. So 1. I wonder if there's ways to put more cards under there. So we quested for 5. We're showing 2, which means that we place 2 here. So this will clear. So we get the Gandalfs. We place 1 here, which means that we get 1 of these cards. Oh, come on. Give me something good. Give me something good. Sword that was broken? Okay. Okay. We'll travel to the prison cell. Look at the capture cards. Choose to put 1 into play at no cost. Sweet. We'll put Blade of Gondolin into play. Okay. Okay. Stand up. Feeling better. Increase our threats. Top of the round, draw into strength. Showing 1. I think we just quest hard. Could we bring Gandalf? No, I don't think I want to bring Gandalf into play. Do we have a sneak attack? We don't have a sneak attack. We could bring Gandalf into play, which would allow us to draw cards, probably hitting a sneak attack. That could allow us to push fairly hard through that. We're just going to go 5. 5 showing 1. Flip into another 1. So that is going to be 2, which clears here. We'll go ahead and travel here. Stand up. And increase the threat. Or 14. That's not too bad. Top of the round, draw into a Valiant Sacrifice, get him money. Okay, I like Valiant Sacrifice here. We actually, I flipped that because I had 6 resources. We could just play Gandalf and draw cards. Cards in a card game is good. And that would help us really push through that. We could quest for 2, 4, 8, 9. We're going to do it. We're going to put Gandalf into play. We're going to choose his response to draw 3 cards, which is more strength, sneak attack, there it is, and a foe hammer. Alrighty. Now we will quest for 2, 4, or 6, 7, 9, showing 1. Flip into a 2, capture 1, when the cruel torture would damage an ally as with an attack, capture that ally underneath cruel torture instead. Now that's an interesting card to have. Sneak attack Gandalf, have Gandalf defend, have him damage, put Gandalf back, and then pop him back to your hand. Or actually, it would be better if you played Gandalf. Yeah. Okay, so 3, roll 6. There's 4 here. We get this card, which is a Dunedain Hunter. Nice. So that was 7. So 2 more cards here. 2, 4, 6. Oh, sweet. We can dice roll now. First card that we get is 6, which is Faramir. Second card we get is a 5, which is, hey, there's Theodred. Which means that Aragorn is in there. This scenario is very tactical. I like it. It's a really cool scenario. I like it. Actually, no. Aragorn could be in here. Aragorn could be in here. Okay. So at the end of the round, actually we're going to travel here. Our threat's at 14, so we're not going to engage here. We will stand up. Gandalf will go to the discard pile. We will use 1 card to play Valiant Sacrifice and draw 2. Dunedain Quest and Goblin Cleaver. Okay. Okay. We increase our threat. We stood up. We're going to draw a card into a Dunedain Mark. We'll pass out money. And we have a lot of stuff going on. Let's go ahead and play the Dunedain Hunter. So we'll look at the top 5 cards for an enemy. Okay, so this is Goblin Tormentor. Capture 1. X is the number of cards in play with 1 or more capture cards underneath them. So now we have the Goblin Tormentor. But this synergy here is really cool because we can put the Goblin Tormentor into play. We get a free, pretty strong ally into play. And now we don't exhaust a quest with Halibut. So it's a cool... I think I want a couple more toys for the Dunedain in order for them to like really sing. But like I see how it's a really fun play style. We're probably going to sneak attack Gandalf here and take out the Torturer. Which we could get a little... We're going to hang out. We are not going to be pushing too hard here. Because I don't want to push through. Because whenever this southern gate comes out... No, it's when it becomes the active location. So we actually have a little bit more time. The jailer. After 1 or more capture cards are rescued, he engages the player with the highest threat and makes an immediate attack. That's not great. I really want to find Aragorn. I really want to find Aragorn. Now Faramir is nice, sword that was broken, but if we can find Aragorn, let's just actually we're gonna play giving strength, so discard 2 resources and add 3 resources, so we're just gonna get an extra resource there. We'll spend 1 to play. This is during the quest phase. We have moved on to the quest phase. To play Gandalf. We will deal 4 damage here. Got sword that was broken again. Oh, you know what? Actually, I don't know if I wanted to do that. Actually, I know I have information that I wouldn't have. I'm like, I may not would have wanted to sneak attack Gandalf in because I could have done it in the combat phase. I could have taken him out, and we have a lot of questing already. That's fine. Okay. So I guess we'll quest for 4/6 here. We're going to flip into when revealed, each player must either deal 1 damage to each exhausted character he controls or remove each exhausted character he controls from the quest. We'll deal damage to Gandalf. It does not matter. He's about to pop back to our hand. And so 4 goes here. We get Blade of Gondolin. And then 2 cards here. 5 gets re-rolled. 1, Ranger. And 1 is the Weather Hills Watchman. So we have 2 more there before we push through. We have so many cards in our hand. At the end of the phase, Gandalf is going to pop back to our hand because we snuck attack him. Theodred should have quested. Here I am. We will defend here. X is the number of cards in play, so this is just going to be 2. Because we have, so we're defending for 2. No shadow effect. And we'll swing back and kill. Which will get us. Bang. There he is. There's Aragorn. Good. Good. Okay, sick. Feeling better. Let's raise our threats. Let's stand everybody up. Oh, sick. Okay. Top of the round, we're going to pass out some money. Draw a card into a Dunedain quest. We have so many cards. Okay, let's use 2 to play a Steward of Gondor on Aragorn. We'll go ahead and use Steward of Gondor to get 2. We'll go ahead and gaining strength. Discard 2, place 3, so we have 4 in Aragorn now. Where's my Goblin Cleaver? Or, yeah, we got Blade of Gondolin on Aragorn. Where's my Cerebrian Stone? Yeah, we got 2 here. Got the Cerebrian Stone on Aragorn. Do we have an Unexpected Courage? We do. Let's go ahead and go 2 for Unexpected Courage on Aragorn. And we are rampant. Oh, it's so satisfying. Now we do have Sword That Was Broken that we want to get on Aragorn. And we probably will want to do that before we push. I guess it doesn't really matter. We've got Goblin Cleaver, we've got Foe Hammer, we've got Feints, we've got a lot of options to us. But I think what we're going to do here is just sit and just farm a little bit more. Because we still have, if we place 2 more quest points, we move on and then things start to get a little weird. But I mean, if we can farm it for 2, our threat's not too bad. Honestly, we may just not quest here. Yeah, we won't quest. Pop into a 3. 1, 2, 3. This gets captured 2. Each player raises his threat by 3 to travel here. Okay, well there you go. Yeah, we'll travel there. 1, 2, 3. So we're up to 22, which is fine. End of the round. Unexhaust everybody. Increase our threats. And we will go into the next phase. Go 1 for Theodred. We probably could have quested with Theodred just to get that resource. But we can do that this turn. Also, we have some space now. Aragorn, draw a card into Dunedain Mark. So our main goal is to start getting these signal cards and our Sword That Was Broken out. And Faramir. Faramir is going to be really nice to get out. Faramir we can get out next turn. Sword That Was Broken we can get out next turn. So yeah, I think we just farm a little bit more. Now we do have this, which we can be a little bit more aggressive in our questing at this point. So let's go ahead and quest with Theodred. We'll give him a resource. That's 1. This only has 2. So let's go ahead and go 2 here. So that's 3 total. Flip into Stop the Executioners. Capture 5, time forced. So when the last time counter is removed from this quest, discard its capture cards and remove the quest from the game. This is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we only capture 4. I assume that doesn't do anything bad. Yeah. Yeah. So now we can quest on this. And this, I think, is where the real strength of these side quests come into play, is when we quest on when we don't want to push the main. We want to kind of be messing with like building out and prolonging the game. We can run our personal side quest and we'll be questing on them, and we can just quest super hard and get the benefits. That's cool. Okay. And this is time 4. We quested for 3. So this clears and we get a card. Watch and Faramir. We'll go even odd. That's my dice. We'll know it's at 4. Even odd. Got Gandalf. Nice. That's gonna tick down to 3. We'll increase our threats. We will stand up. Feeling pretty good here. Top of the round, we're gonna pass out money. We're gonna draw a card into Captain of Gondor. And let's have some fun here. Let's go ahead and do 1 for Captain of Gondor on Aragorn. So after you optionally engage an enemy, exhaust him to give the attached hero +1 attack and defense until the end of the phase. Then we are going to spend 3 from here to place Sword That Was Broken onto Aragorn. So he gains the leadership icon, and then if this is attached to Aragorn, all of our other characters get +1 willpower. So now he can pay for spirits, tactics, or leadership cards. Since he can pay for all of those, we can also spend 2, 3, 4 to put Faramir into play. Faramir we can exhaust and give all of our other characters +1 willpower. Any tactics cards that we really need to play? No. But we can start playing, like, we can spend 2 here for a Dunedain quest. Voltron! We can spend 2 for a Dunedain quest. So now Aragorn is questing for 7. Questing for 7. And we do have a resource for either Ranger or for a Feint. So if something really nasty comes out. I love it. It's so much fun. Okay, we'll quest on this guy. We'll quest for 7. 8. We'll give a money here. Questing for 8. Let's go ahead and just go... Oh, wait, no. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Requesting for 9, which I think should clear anything that pops out of that deck. I don't think there's anything that's more. But just in case, we'll go ahead and quest for 11. Pop into a 1, which is a prison cell. So, nothing actually. Which will clear this. We got Blade of Gondolin, the stone, and more stuff. Sweet. Alright. Yeah, we'll go ahead and travel here. We can just get that out of the way. And we'll stand up. I like how everything just kind of fell into place right there at the end. We'll pass out money. Increase our threats. I actually do want an enemy. Let's go ahead and play the Hunter. We'll search the top 5 for an enemy. 2, 3, 4. There it is. 5. So Goblin Tormentor. Okay. Let's go ahead and spend 1 for Bladed Gondolin on Theodred. Oh, we'll play Bladed Gondolin here. It's a restricted, but it's not restricted to 1 per player, so that's pretty nice. We have Sword that was broken on the table. We have Marks, which we could play, I guess. We get Goblin Cleavers, Foe Hammers, and pretty much anything that we want. We'll spend 2 here to play the 2 Marks onto Aragorn. Okay. Okay, so we are not going to play the Cerebrian Stone or Sword that was broken. Goblin Cleavers, we can clear that guy easily. Foe Hammers, we're good. Gandalf is ready. Honestly, we need some more sneak attacks. Sneak attacks would... I feel like we are way far past where we need to build, but I'm having fun, so here we are. We'll go 2 to play the Weathertill's Watchman. Search for a signal. Hey, there are all my sneak attacks. Nope, no signal. Okay, we'll shuffle that up. And we will go into... We'll quest for 7. 10. We don't have to exhaust here. We got Prison Cell. So 1, 9, that clears. We get this, which is another ranger, and we are pushing through. Okay. Having rescued as many as your companions as you can find, you begin to make your way towards the dungeon's hidden exit. By now, Gornak is surely aware of your escape, and the orcs that were with Ardu are now searching for you as well. Add Southern Gate and Jailer to the staging area. We got the Jailer. After 1 or more captured cards is rescued, he engages the player with the highest threat and makes an immediate attack. We have no more captured cards, so that should be fine. And then we've got immune to player card effects. While Southern Gate is the active location, each orc enemy gets +2 willpower, or +2 fight. When Southern Gate becomes the active location, each player with less than 35 threat must raise their threat to 35. Okay. Shuffle the orcs into the encounter deck. So we're going to see a lot of orcs here real quick, which is honestly fine. Like, we have the Goblin Cleavers, we have blades, we have what we need, we have the tools we need to be efficient. Love it. Then reveal 1 encounter card per player. Okay, so we got the Agmar Captain. After Agmar Captain attacks and destroys an ally, discard the top card of the defending player's deck. If it's an ally, makes an additional attack. We know it's not going to be an ally because we don't have any allies in that deck, and so that's fine. Then we've got, this is at 16, orcs and goblins rush to find you before you make your escape. You must make haste if you wish to make it out of Mount Graham alive. The players cannot travel to Southern Gate unless there are at least 16 progress on this stage. The players cannot defeat this stage while Southern Gate is in play. The players defeat this stage, they have escaped Mount Graham and won the game. Sweet. Okay. So we'll go ahead and travel, I guess, to... No, we'll just leave prison cells. We don't need that. Let's go ahead and optionally engage the captain. We will exhaust captain to give us plus everything that we need. We're going to play Goblin Cleaver. We will exhaust this blade to deal 3 damage here. He's attacking for 5. Which actually, we're just going to feint. He's not attacking for 5. So this actually goes away. Okay. We will attack for 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, which is enough to kill here. We will exhaust Bladed Gondolin and play Foe Hammer to draw 3 cards, which is Valiant Sacrifice, Heir of Vandrel, and a Galadriel's Greeting. Cool. End of the round, we will increase our threat. We will ready. We will pass out money. Draw into sneak attack. Sneak attack Gandalf is a good time. Yeah, with the Goblin Cleavers and sneak attack Gandalf, we have a lethal there before he even attacks, which is nice. He's not immune to player card effects, which is cool. Yeah, I mean we're feeling pretty good here. I think we want to, yeah, we'll quest with them. So let's go. Do we want to play anything? I guess is a question. I don't think there's anything that we really need to play. Might as well go 2 to play the Watchman. I don't think I have any more signals in here, but worth checking. Really, that's just going to be +3 to our willpower. Okay. We'll sneak attack in the encounter or in the quest phase. Gandalf will throw 4 damage here. Yeah. 4 damage there. He's questing for 4. We'll exhaust Faramir. 5, 6. We're gonna use this. So he's questing for Gandalf's questing for 6. This is 8, right? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 14. Theodred is 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to give a resource to Aragorn. So that's 17. 1, 2, 3, 4 there. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3. That's putting us at 24. We are showing 3, 6, 7. Not quite enough to do that. Actually, hold on. Is it 3, 6, 7? Say if we get 4, which I think is probably the max, because I think we just shuffled a surge in there. 7, that put us at 11. So we need 37 to be perfect there. 27. That's how math works. 27. We're at 24, so we can just go Weather Hills Watchman for 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and be good. Flip into Win Reveal. Each player discards the top card of his capture deck and raises threat by that card's printed cost. At least one player discarded no cards from this effect gains Doom 2. So 1, 2. Perfect. And so we see 3, 6, 7. We place 20 progress here. So we'll use that. We'll go ahead and travel here. We will each orc enemy gets +2 attack. When Southern Gate becomes the active location, we have to raise our threat to 35. And we will optionally engage here. I guess we'll Captain of Gondor. I don't think it matters though. We'll use 2 Goblin Cleavers. We'll exhaust both these Blades of Gondolin to deal 6 damage to him, which is enough to kill him. Also, Gandalf's in our hand. Alrighty. So if we quest through that, we win the game. Let's go ahead and stand up. I think there are stronger decks against this quest, but I'm having a lot of fun with this. Threat goes to 36. Top of the round, we'll pass out money here. 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 Draw a card into Galadrim's Greeting. And we will 2, 3, 5 for Gandalf. Draw 3, I guess. 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna see how much I can quest for here. 2. Okay. Cool. Let's see what we can do here. I wonder how. I'm guessing over 40. I'm guessing over 40. We're gonna exhaust Faramir to give everyone +1. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. We'll give a resource to Aragorn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, we're gonna ready. Got a Halibut for 1, 2, 3, 4. Gandalf for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 44. We probably should have someone not engaged just in case the shadow effect like kill everyone. Which actually we're fine. Okay, so 44. We're showing 4. Enough to clear it. That was fun. That was a fun quest. It was a fun quest. Yeah, I can tell why it's one of the easier quests. Once you get over that initial hump, which I don't think we set up our hero like lineup to do super well, but you just get so many cards and you have so many options in the game that it seems really good. But yeah, that was a ton of fun. That was fun. I'm glad that I got to use a couple of heroes that I haven't used before, mainly these two. I think actually I would swap out Theodred for someone else just because I thought I was going to start with him, but then I didn't realize that I wasn't actually going to be able to use him at the beginning. Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time. Voltron Aragorn is always fun. Okay, so up next we're going to be unboxing our Across the Int move. Oh no, we have to read our ending, but then we'll unbox this and we'll be going. Nice job. Thanks, Canadian. In hindsight, the dank cold of the dungeon was tranquil in comparison to the icy weather outside. The narrow path twisting down the snowy mountainside was slippery and treacherous, and one false step could spell doom. After cautiously making their way down the pass for hours, they reached the base of the mountains and hid in the treetops and waited. Aragorn is always a great hero to have. Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't long before Arthmedril descended down the narrow pass and the company was reunited at last. Mr. I was not with him. Tharadir is aware of our escape, the ranger said grimly. Once they had said their greetings and taken stock of their numbers, our fortunes have turned. Now we are the ones being pursued. And what of Mr. I? Another of the company asked, to which Mr. A responds with solemn silence. I tried to reach him, he explained after a long pause. He was held captive by the orcs who came with Tharadir. He was unconscious but unharmed. I slew many of the orcs that were the author, but that awful wraith appeared and fought me back. He ordered that the orcs take him to Khazad-dûm and held me at bay while they escaped. Mr. A cursed and slammed his bloody fist against a nearby tree, furious and desperate. I was beaten again. I barely made it out alive, and worse, Tharadir is hot on our trail. I feel I've only made things worse. You rescued him from torture and death, or worse, one of the heroes replied, comforting their friend. For now, we must regroup and get away from this awful place. I fear we cannot pursue Mr. I's captors north, not in our current state. Are we to abandon our mission then? To abandon Mr. I? Mr. A asked. No, we cannot. We must make haste towards Khazad-dûm to catch up with the orcs and rescue them. I understand how you feel. Another one of the companions assured Mr. A, but are we alone and weary from our imprisonment to confront all the forces of Agmar in the base of Khazad-dûm? Mr. A opened his mouth to respond, but he knew they were right. Most of them were wounded, and some hadn't eaten in days. Their clothing was torn, their rations long gone, and they had little of the equipment they brought with them from Fornost. "You're right," he said, at last sorrowful. "What then? Have we failed our guest? Have we failed in our quest?" "No," the hero said with a smile. "Not yet. Not while there is hope. We know they desire Mr. I alive for whatever ill purpose, but we have no choice but to head south to Rivendell. We seek the counsel of Elrond and gather our strength." He clasped his hands on Mr. A's shoulder. "Perhaps then we can assault Cardoom and rescue Mr. I. But there are many miles between here and Rivendell, and Tharadur still pursues us. One step at a time, brother." Mr. A nodded. The company set off to the south. Story continues and across the moors. Perfect. So that is the whatever this one was. Escape from Mount Graham. That was the Escape from Mount Graham. I'm gonna clean up. I'm gonna go to be right back, and then we'll unbox some new cards. Always a good time. Awesome. See you soon.